Where is he? I would, on behalf of the Winnipeg Jets, I would like to recognize Sam Rosen for an outstanding career. I got a chance to work with you for 5 years. It was my pleasure, what you've done for the game. Some of those great calls over the years. Stanley Cup for you, I know it was a high moment for you, but you were fantastic, and I really appreciate it. Everything, all the best, pal. All right, let's go.
What a nice touch.
Yeah.
Arnie, maybe just before we talk about the game tonight, I know you said you were kind of mulling over possibilities for Luke's partner on that defense pairing. Maybe just, if you could, go through the process and how you arrived at Haydn for that job tonight.
Yeah, it's a lot about, like we mentioned, after the deadline is over. We know what our numbers are now, and I want to make sure everybody's getting their reps and everybody's a part of this. It's going to take everybody. If we're going to go deep in the playoffs, it's going to take the full roster. And we're getting Haydn in there has been, something I've wanted to do. He's a good skater, good mobility. Against the Rangers tonight, just felt that put him with Luke and his ability to skate and make plays as well.
When he has had his opportunities, how would you rate his performance?
You know what? From a guy coming in this right out of his mouth, thinking that he was just going to be a depth player, maybe even with the Moose, and then all the things that transpired in training camp with our injuries. He got a chance to play right away and prove that, he's a certainly more than capable player. When we lost Sammy, he had to step up and play an even bigger role. He's done a great job of, taking advantage of the situations that have been put in front of him, and no different tonight.
Sam Rosen always makes the Rangers game sound exciting, but in your video watch, is this a little bit of a difficult team to know what you're going to face tonight?
It certainly changed the roster a lot since the last time we've seen them. But the pieces they've added are good pieces. I know JT really well. Obviously, know him from Vancouver. I had him in New York. He's going to drive that. He's driving that line. He's got some energy that's out there, and they have. You can see the top six offensive group that are coming at you, and then I think they got two real heavy lines that kind of play the hard game. So, different look, but still an elite team with some top players.
Scott, adding Tanev and Schenn, the physicality, the penalty killing, the experience, the leadership, how exciting a prospect is this for you to see what could be your round one, game one lineup, all the pieces together?
Yeah, I don't know exactly what it's going to look like when we get there, but there's a lot of positives to what we've done and who's in our lineup tonight. Just at the end of the day, like I mentioned earlier, we're going to need everybody, and the guys that aren't playing tonight doesn't mean they won't be playing next week or even Friday. It's just we're going to kind of have a chance here to kind of see what things look like. Obviously, we're doing a little experiment here with Bear going in the middle on that fourth line and seeing how that goes. I want that to run a little bit. Just so it's getting a feel for, kind of some different looks that we haven't been able to do earlier on.
With Morgan in that fourth line center role, and you also have Kupari, Gustafsson, that said, how much wider is the palette of options for you with three guys that are proven in those positions?
I think that Coop brings a right-handed draw. He brings a speed element. Gus just an all-round kind of plugs a lot of holes, whether it's left wing or center, and especially, again, left side face-off. So everybody has their qualities and their attributes that they bring to the table, and that's what you like to have because you don't know where we're going to be, whether it's during the regular season or at the end of the year through injuries or what may happen, that we've got some depth for it.
So what are the qualities about Morgan in the center position and what you know of him and what you want to see from him that is kind of like an experimentation?
Yeah, it's a big line. It's a heavy line. It's going to be like we've seen so far, they get in heavy on the forecheck and zone time. Bear's a guy that gets the net front. He is good on faceoffs, especially on the left side. So that's a bonus for us. He's had a little bit of experience, not a ton, but just this is kind of the time to get to see if it works.
Scott, how do you strike that balance? To wanting to see a couple of the plan Bs versus the continuity and helping the other pieces kind of fit as you get in the last quarter of the year?
Probably a little bit more comfortable with because of the first half of the year with all our defense being out. had to kind of do it by necessity. The second half, and it was the forwards that we started to lose. So we've been kind of doing it, sort of experimenting different lines along the way, and who knows where that may, you come down the road. At least you've seen it before and you liked it, or you didn't like it, I guess. But it's just a chance to be able to get a feel for it. It'll start to round itself out once once Schenn gets going here. Once, obviously Brandon's been playing. Once we kind of get them up and running and, full on, then we kind of get a feel for what it all looks like.
And I know you used them in the past. You had a couple times where coming out of penalty kills, you've gone Ehlers because you've used Kyle on the penalty kills. Is that just something you want to test that look out a little bit more?
Yeah, you know what? Again, just like with Tanev being here, where recently I've been kind of going with Vladdy and KC as a second group over the boards. I don't want to lose Tanev, and so he's been kind of getting in that second hole, either with Barron or Appleton, and so it's kind of pushed KC and Vladdy into the third group going over, and so that I can't come back obviously with him. So yeah, that's exactly what it gets flyer out there right away with Scheif, and that line is up and running right away. So I think that just kind of helps us have an offensive group go out right after the power play. Right after the penalty kill.
Scott, you mentioned it yourself that good health is always an asset at this time of the year, and especially in the playoffs. So from that perspective, I don't know what your plan B would have been if Vlad couldn't have gone tonight, but how much of a benefit is it that he is able to play?
Oh, yeah. When you lose any position, especially when you get into your top six or your top four defensemen, those are key players, and I'm glad he's back to where he needs to be, and he's obviously going to be able to play tonight. That I don't want to get into those ifs and buts, but yeah, you don't want to lose those kind of players.
And Kupari, does he have his full clearance to?
Yep, he's good to go.